2077, a lot of people don't know that I was kind of in the middle of the whole thing. The nickname Night City came because I was driving around at night. I said, this is the city at night, you know, and I was like always doing that Blade Runner voice, the city at night, I travel. We needed to talk to the team pretty regularly. Every time a script gets done, I always saw it before it got done. And they asked me, what do you think? And most of the time I thought, well, that's really awesome. So they're in a conference room and we're in pajamas at 4 or 5 in the morning, literally, to meet people who were leaving CD. It's like, you know, do you have any idea how old this is? Wait a minute, I gotta get some coffee. And then about every 3 to 5 months, I went over to Poland and spent a week or two. We just kept processing and moving forward on it. They put together all hands on deck meetings where I sat there with everybody. Okay, this is what you should expect in cyberpunk. These are the things that are happening. Some of you guys, you might not have even been born when Blade Runner was done, but here's how it works. For example, I had guys who were doing shiny silver guns, and I said, cyberpunk guns are not shiny and silver. They're not ray guns. They are big, ugly, vicious weapons. They have those little LEDs that are, you know, buried in there, and they light, and in the dark it looks like eyes are watching you. The guys who were doing the guns went, oh, now we get it. And they went off and did some amazing guns. I knew we were on the right track because I walked in one day and one of the guys was working on environments. And he said, yeah, Mike, you got to come in here and see this. He was working on the section and everything's kind of crowded and people are going back and forth. I said, that's it. Yeah, you nailed it. This is what we're talking about, because the city felt alive to me. So at that point, we were off to the races. But I really respect and appreciate the fact that they asked me, you know, what do you think? Does this feel right? I still do it. I would get in my car in 77 and I would just drive out to the sunrise and go through the city and go around, you know, different areas and see stuff. And sometimes, you know, you'd see gangs or you'd see something happening. You'd go through some area and it was like raining that night. And then you'd go up past Pacifica, which I always liked. And, you know, you'd see all these places and all these things. So I realized, yeah, I love the city. That's never really changed. You know, when I'm really kind of like, I need to, you know, get a break, I will go boot up Night City and drive around in it for hours going, I haven't been here before. I actually found a Pondsmith Avenue in Night City. And they didn't tell me, you know, they just put it in there. And I'm like, what? When did you guys do that? But to do that, I had to drive all over the place and I had to stumble across Pondsmith Avenue, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere. That is what surprised me, is that it was an environment that felt alive and it was doing exactly what I would be doing in real life.